And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. A bit of breaking news for you today, and your eyes are not deceiving you. Yes, the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, is facing one of the most serious accusations imaginable: crimes against humanity. We are going to be breaking this down, of course, in today's live stream and going through what has been said. I'll be taking your thoughts and reaction down there in the comment section below. But do let me excuse myself. Sorry for the background, currently on the road, of course. The United Kingdom protest is on the 13th of September, and I'm obviously out of my home, and I've just, of course, visiting some family ahead of it, so I'm going to be streaming from different places up until, of course, the protests. So yeah, sorry for the background and all these kind of things, but it is what it is. The show still goes on. So yes, according to the Telegraph, a group of Chagosians, indigenous people from the Chagos Islands, have formally referred Starmer to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. And they haven't just named him, they've also accused Foreign Secretary David Lammy and Defence Secretary John Healey of being complicit. So, what is at the heart of this explosive case? Well, it's of course these islands. Back in May, the UK government signed a £3.4 billion deal to transfer sovereignty of the Chagos Islands to Mauritius. On paper, that sounded like a decolonisation, but the deal keeps Diego Garcia, one of the largest islands, under the UK military control for the next 99 years. However, the problem here is that the Chagosians are still barred from returning home. Campaigners say that this is not just betrayal, but the continuation of crime that began in the late 1960s when islanders were forcibly removed to make way for the US-UK military base. The ICC referral calls this one of the longest standing and most rigorous cases of displacement in modern history, and the allegations are pretty clear. By refusing to allow the Chagosians back to Diego Garcia, Starmer's government is knowingly perpetuating the forcible transfer of a population, a crime against humanity. Parliament is set to debate the treaty this week, but the legal pressure is mounting fast. Beatrice Pompey, born on Diego Garcia herself, is leading the charge. She's already managed to stall the deal once with her injunction, but it was overturned. Now she's taking it to the world's top criminal court. In an open letter to the ICC prosecutor, Karim Khan, campaigners essentially say, while it may be difficult or impossible to investigate the original perpetrators from the 1960s and 70s, it is both possible and necessary to investigate those who now perpetrate the crime. They accuse Lammy of negotiating the agreement that excludes Chagosians and Healey of justifying their exclusions on strategic grounds. So where does this go from here? Well, essentially, the ICC will now decide whether to open a preliminary investigation into the UK government's actions. If they find a case to answer, it could escalate into a full investigation for crimes against humanity against several serving ministers, including the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, himself. This is pretty unprecedented. A sitting UK Prime Minister being dragged before The Hague would send shockwaves across Britain and beyond. For the Chagosians, this is about justice denied for decades. For Keir Starmer, it could become the defining crisis of his premiership. Now, I'm already seeing comments here in the live chat. Well, people should already say that he should be reported to the International Criminal Courts for crimes against humanity for the stuff that he's done to Britain over the last year, which I can completely get behind. I really can understand that for sure. But you got to understand the whole situation with the Chagos Islands and Diego Garcia themselves. These Chagosians, the native people of these islands, have been pissed and messed around. They identify themselves as British, and of course they've been massively betrayed by the British government, Keir Starmer, David Lammy, and all of the rest of it. A lot of the people that talk about this is that we talk about, well, we're giving up sovereignty, which is obviously disgraceful in itself. We're giving up strategic areas. I know we've got this sort of 99-year lease, but you get what we're going with Mauritius and what China can essentially do with their links and close ties to China. We already know it's treasonous in a way, but you're forgetting the people that they're actually leaving behind. The Chagosians relied, of course, on the British government, and of course, they are now taking it right to the very top. I'm interested to see what people are saying with regard to this story. So do let me know down there in the live chat. I touched upon at the start, guys, that of course I'm in this room just for the next couple of days. So bear with the thing. You can see a wardrobe in there, classic British houses, fairly small, from fairly humble beginnings myself, guys. And of course, a bit of a nomad, I suppose, for the next couple of the next week or so, as of course in London for the big one, the United Kingdom protest. I'm really looking forward to it. Do let me know who's going down there in the comment section below. How many people are making their way down to the capital this Saturday? It's going to be big. Let's have a little look. Christy May says, may I say, being in a smaller place helps your voice come through with no echo. Sounds great. No, I'm glad with that. And I'm sorting everything out. Of course, for those of you that watch the podcast, you can see the studio space. That's things that are going to be coming here on British Stand on a permanent basis. I'm just trying to get over this hurdle, of course, of being for this sort of protest, of course, on Saturday. Then after that, sort of normal things can proceed from there, and everything's going to be elevated. You know, there's no more me live streaming here on the laptop. It's going to be, you know, high quality cameras and a bit of a studio setup as well. So yeah, it's going to be pretty good. Fabian Society expose. What took so long? Starmer needs to be in prison. People Watcher says he should be in jail. I'll leave that one there. Starmer loves his starfish getting smashed. Kitty Roo says, I hope these three stooges get serious jail time for betraying us and the people of Chagos. Jenny says, I'll be there. It will be great. I cannot wait for it, guys. It's going to be really, really good. Of course, everything's bubbling over. Everything's bubbling over. And I will tell you something. I've not been to London in 1 year. And I was blown aback by the state of the capital city. After a year of not seeing it, I am blown aback by the state of the city. It is a shit pit. It really is a shit pit. London. I cannot believe what I'm seeing in the capital city. It's so bad. It really is. There is no native people there either. What's happening in the UK? One thing for certain, on Saturday, we're going to be seeing something a little bit different in the city and in London. But my goodness me, I couldn't believe my eyes. It's a shit pit. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the Fabian Society video. We've got more coming the way. Everything is going up in level in terms of everything, studio, the lot. Just bear with me until I get past, of course, the protest, where I'm just going to be on the road a little bit for the next week or so. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Lilith says, we are going to hate London, but we need to protest. It'll be good because everyone will be there together. Everyone's going to be there together. It's going to be brilliant to see the capital city, actually seeing some indigenous people cutting around with flags and all of these kind of things. And of course, standing up to this tyrannical government, of course, as well with free speech. But that city gives me the creeps these days. You know, it's not like Hampstead. Hampstead, lovely, lovely place in North London. King's Cross, shit pit. Honestly, couldn't believe my eyes. Could not believe my eyes. When I came over last year, it was nothing how it was 5 years prior. Gary says, London is an absolute doss hole. Was down there for a work a couple of weeks ago. Samuel says that they've all been sussed through the Fabian Society. It's good that everyone's understanding the Fabian Society and actually what they're complicit. And once you understand the Fabian Society, you really understand where this Labour government are and what they're actually trying to do. And every decision that they make does, of course, link back to the Fabian Society. Since the dawn of time, since the Labour Party originated, the Labour Party was made, they've always been there. And they're not some historical movement, by the way. They still hold meetings to this day. 141 Labour MPs are, of course, a part of the Fabian Society. And when you understand their dark history and actually what their remit is as a movement, you'll understand where we're currently going. You know, they like to do things subtly. They don't want to do things by mad demonstration. They want to infiltrate their views through education, which you can see, through politics, which you can see, through trade unionism, which you can see as well. It's really terrifying. If any of you guys have not watched anything on the Fabian Society, we did do a breakdown video on the podcast, and in fact I shared it here on British Stand for you to watch. It's I think 4 videos ago or something like that, but we spent a good amount of time talking about it, me and my friend Dom, and yeah, it's pretty dark. When you understand the Fabian Society, it's wild. But yeah, and then guys, I'm going to, do you know, as I said, I'm going to Paris for the first time since 2017 next week as well. I've seen a lot of stuff from Paris. That place looks like a shit pit as well. Wild. Rosalind says, London was busy years ago. Nice to visit. I haven't been to London for years now. I wish it was like it used to be. I miss that. I'll tell you something about London as well, by the way. And I mean, I don't really want to dox a hotel that I was staying at. Don't worry, nothing to do with the legals. But yeah, I stayed at a hotel in King's Cross last night, right? 322 quid. And I'm not talking about a 5-star luxury hotel. Fair enough, right? A nice 5-star hotel, 322 quid. Yes, it's a lot. 322 quid, I think, for a 4-star. I don't even know what it was. But the hotel was bog standard. Now, it was an unbearable hotel, which you could probably get for 100, 150 quid in London. 322 quid for just a small little room with a bed and a sofa. Nothing crazy. It was called the King, I think the Crown Plaza or something like that in King's Cross. It is nothing magnificent whatsoever. 322 quid for a night in King's Cross, and the place is a shit pit. Yeah, that's what you're getting now in London. London used to be an absolute stunning place to go and visit, and you know, some of the service that you'd get in the country would be beautiful. But 322 quid for a mediocre hotel in King's Cross, wild, absolutely wild. Jim Steffen says, do you know, this is exactly what I was thinking. Driving up the prices. I wonder why. That's exactly what I was thinking when I was in there the other day. I was thinking, why is this place so expensive? And you know what, the Crown Plaza, obviously I'm not saying that is the case, but there was a lot of businessy people that were staying in there, of course, in the city for work. But I was in there and I was thinking, why is it £322 for this? Surely they can't be fully booked every single night of the week. And it's a big hotel. And then that made me think, I had the same thoughts as you, Jim. I genuinely did. Where's the next move that they're going to be making? Wild. Poland has it spot on. We need to take note. Yeah. Martin says, for me to go to London, it would mean a 9-hour trip each way, National Express, and I would need to spend 2 nights on the street of London. That's the reality these days for many. And I'm thinking about some of these guys. Me staying in that hotel, and it was mediocre troops. Guys coming off a boat, staying in 5-star hotels, and actually being able to live in some of the nicest parts of the city, completely free, at the taxpayer's expense, and getting 3 meals a day and all of these sorts of stuff is absolutely diabolical. And I'm not playing the violin and saying, I do well. I own a few companies. I do well for myself. But even that, I was like, you know what? 322 quid. People can't even visit their own capital city anymore. People would go on holiday to go to the capital city and spend a couple of nights down there, and it would be great to do. Nowadays, why would you? Why would you spend a few nights down in the capital city? I mean, you can play an interesting game. I won't say it on here, but, it's a guessing game and trying to spot something in London. And it's pretty freaking hard to do. Let me tell you that. I wouldn't be down there any time. Shit pit. Sorry, I keep swearing. This is a family channel. But yeah. But what about the crimes against the British people? That will be next. That will be next. That's coming next. Crazy. Yeah, I only just recovered as well from do you know what's been in my head now for the last couple of days is that subway. The incident that happened in Charlotte. I see a lot of things on social media. The stuff we see on X nowadays is crazy, right? We see a lot of stuff, and you become numb to the sort of stuff that you see nowadays on social media. But that thing with the Ukrainian girl, my goodness me, my heart honestly bleeds out for her. It really does. It shook me for a while, and of course I've been trying to follow this and try to understand everything. And there is no answers, but it was good to see Donald Trump has, of course, spoken out about it and listened. But there was a massive mainstream media blackout in the United States and in the UK. BBC didn't do an article for a long time until people put pressure on X. And this is the beautiful thing about X, is that we would have never heard about this incident that happened on the subway if it wasn't for X and it wasn't for Elon. And the people on X, the people that were talking about this, put pressure and ended up making the mainstream media actually show this story, because it had the three points of a story. Everyone's saying, well, we don't report every single murder that happens in the world, but this was massive. One, it was completely random. It was a racial attack. It was also involving a refugee, the mainstream media's sort of wet dream, if you like, and obviously a murder and something big. But they weren't showing it. It was so clear to see. If you've ever wondered why the mainstream media don't show things, the left-wing media don't show things, because they're sort of complicit and they want to hide this. They want to portray a certain race to be the good and a certain race to be the bad. And it was so clear to see after that. And it shook me. That video was absolutely horrible. It really was. Irina Zarutska. Remember that name, guys. Remember that name, Irina Zarutska. That was absolutely diabolical. We got a £5 donation. Thank you so much from the English Auditor. Supply and demand. Less hotels available, so prices will go up. And I read that Sadiq Khan is vice president for the Fabian Society. You make a great point there, of course, with the hotel prices. It made me think. And if I'm going to be following that a bit closely, I think it's called the Crown Plaza is where I stayed or something like that. Sounds fancy, weren't fancy. I'll be looking at the, I'll be following that and seeing if that price did mean, that price did mean something. If something is going to be happening with regard to illegals, I'd be interested to see what happens with that. And I didn't know about Sadiq Khan being the vice president of the Fabian Society. I haven't seen that bit actually yet. I'm going Saturday, says James Taylor. Happy days. Happy days. Mr. Mark, what are you on about? Is this title clickbait? Don't start that nonsense, guys. We've been streaming for about 19 minutes. We, of course, talked about that at the start of the stream. For those of you just talking and joining in with us, let me conclude for you, and then I'll probably dip afterwards. But yes, the British Prime Minister, it's absolutely true. It's not clickbait. According to The Telegraph, a group of Chagosians, indigenous people from the Chagos Islands, have formally referred Starmer to the International Criminal Court in The Hague, and they haven't just named named him. They've, of course, named the Foreign Secretary David Lammy and, of course, the Defence Secretary John Healey of being complicit. And essentially, yes, they are exactly reported them. And we're going to see what happens. We'll be following this story very, very closely and seeing what happens. But guys, do let me know your thoughts on this down there in the comment section below. Probably have another stream a little bit later on, depending on what happens, but certainly another video. But guys, bear with me this next week. I'm glad the audio sounds a lot better, but thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm really looking forward to Saturday. I'm really looking forward to Saturday. And I'm actually seeing here, again, by the way, Paul Hart says they're cancelling trains in the 13th. The tubes don't even work. They're on strikes for the whole week. So getting around London yesterday was impossible. You know, you couldn't get anywhere without getting into walking or whatnot, which I don't mind doing, of course. A bit of exercise doesn't hurt anybody, but the place is locked down. The tubes aren't even running. Absolutely wild. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next one, guys. I'll be there on Saturday. Looking forward to it.